In the next 1 hour, one rank, one pension will become a reality. The government is all set to roll out one rank, one pension.
What we're going to do is we're going to cut across live to Jantar Mantar, because right now that is where primarily the action is. Right after the Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar will make that announcement. We are expecting that press conference to begin in the next 30 minutes. These are live visuals that we are getting to you from Ground Zero, Jantar Mantar. What we've also heard was ex-serviceman Major General Satbir Singh, who a short while back spoke to the media. A distinct softening of stand when it comes down to our protesting veterans, especially at Jantar Mantar. Let's get you all the reactions, and then we are with our guests in the studio and our reporters from ground.
We'll listen into Major General Satbir Singh in just a moment. General Satbir Singh made that announcement after meeting the Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar. He said most of their demands have been met. There is a committee that will be set up to look into whatever issues remain. So what are the big points that Major General Satbir Singh is giving out? His first point is that the concept of one rank, one pension has been accepted by the government. That is point one. Point two, the issue of not giving one rank, one pension to those who take premature retirement. He says this should be removed. This is a discrepancy that has just been introduced. Perhaps it's the bureaucracy that's creating this problem. That should be removed. The review of time frame. Government says 5 years, the veterans say 2 years. Now what we are being told, there may be a committee of a judge that will be set up to look into these anomalies. The veterans say that there should be a soldier in that committee. Let's listen in to Major General Satbir Singh.
हमें बताया कि सरकार ने वन रैंक वन पेंशन का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है उसको अप्रूव कर दिया है। जो मिनिमम क्वालिफाइंग सर्विस के बाद अफसर जेसीओ जवान प्रीमेच्योर रिटायरमेंट ले सकता है और उसको पेंशन मिलता है और उनको वन रैंक वन पेंशन लागू होगा। ये बात रक्षा मंत्री जी ने समझ ली है।
And joining Preeti Chaudhary and me in the studio is Colonel V.N. Thapar. He's a war veteran himself and a very brave soldier's father. Captain Vijayan Thapar, Veer Chakra, posthumous, his father. He joins us in the studio. Sir, 1 hour from now, OROP is likely to be implemented. Your first thoughts on this concept?
On the concept, well, the concept has been discussed threadbare. But my first thought is that of relief. That, you know, this sordid episode of Indian Army's history is coming to a close.
Okay. So, Colonel, before we cut across to Rahul Kamala, Managing Editor, I believe we are getting him from Jantar Mantar right now. The question I want to ask you is, do you think now that our veterans need to walk the line, walk the way and accept what is on offer, because clearly the government has delivered 80% on its promises?
Most certainly. You see, after all, we are fighting for something, and if that comes through or nearly comes through, then there is no reason for us to go any further. Now let's wait for an hour. When the announcement is made, then only can everything be crystallized and we can take a decision on whether to proceed ahead or to sort of go another step towards closing this matter.
All right, Colonel, do stay on with us, because right now we would like to directly cut across to Jantar Mantar as well, because that is where primarily the action is right now. What we are expecting, of course, in the next 20 minutes, that press conference that Gaurav and I are expecting of the Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar. But before that, Rahul, I'd like to cut across to you. In the last 2 hours, we've seen the congregation of the ex-servicemen at Jantar Mantar swell to what we've seen, at least in the last few days.
Hugely emotional scenes here, Preeti, at Jantar Mantar. Servicemen, ex-servicemen with tears in their eyes, waiting for this moment. It's almost been a 40-year-old struggle. I've got one lady who's joining us who was watching our coverage yesterday, not happy with some parts of what we said, but at least happy with the fact, ma'am, that after all this while, after this long struggle, one rank, one pension is finally becoming a reality.
It is becoming a reality, but look at the way these people have really toiled such a more disciplined agitation have you ever come across?
Not at all. No, that's true.
In the whole of this India, no one has given such disciplined agitation. Look at even the children are disciplined, huh? And then you give them, can't you give them 100%? What's wrong? You give so many crores to other people. Look at these people. You know, look at the widows, the wives, everyone.
Sir, are you satisfied at least that some progress is being made, even if it's not 100%? Are ex-servicemen by and large satisfied with what the government is offering, sir?
Yeah, by and large, I think 90% are okay. But why deny the rest 10% of their demand? They were genuine demands. I'm a 65 veteran, and I know through what the army and the soldiers.
71. I was there in 71. I was in the midst of all the bombardment and everything with a 6-month child. But I didn't shirk back. I didn't say I leave Amritsar just because of all this. Supposing my husband had died, what would have happened to me and my daughter? I didn't think of all that because I thought the government was looking after me. Today, what is happening?
The government should be a little more magnanimous. It's a genuine demand.
Would you accept at least that after 40 years this demand has been met? For 20 years successive governments had not agreed to move forward, and finally there is some
I agree with that. For last 40 years no government has done anything, whichever be the government. They are taking steps. I'm happy about it. But then be magnanimous, little bit you give it to them.
Rahul, we voted for Modi, and we were very happy with him. He can be magnanimous to Nepal, he can be magnanimous to Mongolia, to so many other. What about his own people? Listen, Pakistan and China is watching all this. Do you think my son will go and fight with the same Josh as he has been fighting till now? Tell me that. When he sees his parents like this and not knowing whether his family will be taken care of, will he fight with the same Josh? Will the Kargil thing, we still get that achievement that we found at Kargil, and with no equipment in 65? Pakistan was so much ahead of us, wasn't it? You tell me.
That's true, but we fought bravely, and that's what's special about the Indian Army.
Yes, so please reward them. Sure.
But it is coming through in a short while from now.
Little more.
I must also say that there were very farcical scenes here just a short while ago, Gaurav and Preeti, when this whole bunch of supporters, if my cameraman can just pan and show you, of Asaram Bapu, the con man who's in jail, his supporters have gathered here in the thousands, and they actually get out journalists and they said, forget one rank, one pension, you must cover Asaram Bapu, and they actually wouldn't let us leave for a very long while. There's a large number of ex-servicemen, their family members who've gathered over here, and there's finally some hope. As we just heard from this couple, they realize that it's not 100%, but they are thankful that at least some movement is being made. Do you share that sentiment, sir? That are you grateful? Are you thankful that some movement is being made at least?
We are thankful, but एक हिंदी में कहावत कही जाती है कि दूध दिया कीड़े डाल के दिया तो उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है. We wish कि PM would have given it much earlier, the way he promised, and he knew it that he has promised. He was the one person who, till now, no one has ever said that we will be giving a one rank, one pension. At least we were very happy, and that is how we gave them the 110% of our support to him. And he announces there in Kargil that ये मेरे भाग्य में लिखा हुआ था, मैंने ही देना था. So we were very disparate, we were very harmed, we were very demoralized. And you see, with this, the moral of the present serving people, those who are going to be in a year or two going to be veteran, the moral has gone down. So it is good that he has waken up and he has done it. When the government can excuse lot of 101 lakh crore of rupees, those were the Adani, Reliance और उनका they excuse everything. Why can't they give?
Okay. बताइए, आपको लग रहा है कि कम से कम अच्छी बात है कि वन रैंक वन पेंशन आखिरकार हो रहा है?
सर ये अच्छी बात है, लेकिन अब जस्ट नाउ ठीक है, जनरल सतबीर हैड मेट विद द डिफेंस मिनिस्टर एंड दे आर गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट रेडी, ठीक है, विद द 2 years रिविजन्स. इफ गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग आवर 2 years रिविजन, then one rank one pension does not serve the purpose. ठीक है.
Why not? At least the fact that you have one rank, one
They are
pension.
telling us 5 years revision. 5 year revision, again there will be a much gap between the junior senior salary, pension. Then, and main contest is still there. They are not declaring it. They are not accepting. Firstly, हम पहले 1 साल के लिए हमें हमारी डिमांड थी, लेकिन अभी हमने उसको 2 years कर दिया. लेकिन
सरकार भी तो 10 से 5 साल में आई है.
no problem, but जब one rank one pension definition is not resolved now.
Okay, Gaurav and Preeti, you just got a sense of the sentiment here. There is some happiness with the fact that at least at long last we are moving forward, but still resentment about the fact that it's not the classical definition of one rank, one pension. Instead, it's being called one rank, many pensions. Because there'll at least be 5 pensions between the 5-year review period, Gaurav.
Rahul, but if you were to look at the battle that the government has on its hands, there is a perception battle, and every veteran you spoke to, and we have Colonel Thapar with me here with us in the studio. Rahul, it's a massive perception battle that the government will have to win. They may have given 8,300 crores, much more than any government in the past, but the veterans are still rather dissatisfied.
You know, Gaurav, let me try and put this in context. I think the gentleman we just spoke to hit the nail on the head, saying कि दूध दिया अगर दूध के अंदर कीड़े हैं तो क्या फायदा इस दूध का? And if that's the sentiment that goes out, then it kind of negates what the government has done. But here's what the government is saying, that the annual outflow on one rank, one pension is between 8 to 10,000 rupees per year, crore rupees per year, which will increase. A senior bureaucrat who I spoke to said that even if this is revised every year, apart from the logistical nightmare, the back of the envelope calculation suggests that the extra outlay will be between 500 to 1,000 crore. So you can ask, you know, if it's just about 500 to 1,000 crores, is it not worth it? Why should we have these proud veterans who fought for us in 62, fought for us in 65, fought for us in 71, fought for us in Kargil, go back feeling that they've not been given what they were asking for? The sense there is that, you know, you have the CRPF, the CISF, the BSF, all of them will be demanding the same thing. And how does the government then deny similar treatment to other wings of the government machinery? If you do it for the armed forces, how can you deny the others? I think that's the question that will be asked. I think that's the question that is worrying the government, because the next pay commission is around the corner, so they don't want to throw open a Pandora's box, which will later be very, very difficult to deal with. And I think that's one of the key problems at this time, Gaurav.
Stay on with us, Rahul. Let's bring in Colonel Thapar, who's with us in the studio. You know, when we're talking about perception, sir, because that is what, of course, even this government is going to fight, because this announcement is coming just days before the notification of Bihar comes in.
As soon as possible. And regarding the foreign investment in Tamil Nadu, we are going to have a meet on foreign investors another 2.
All right, I'm afraid our producers have cut across to the wrong camera there. We're going to rectify that. But Colonel Thapar, you're still with us. You know, the question I was asking you is, now this announcement comes at, you know, right before, days before the Bihar notification comes in. Look at the kind of mood which is there today at Jantar Mantar. Of course, there is a sense of relief. You know, people are happy. But ultimately, you know, do you think there will be a perceptional war that this government will fight, whereas giving one rank, one pension is concerned?
Most certainly they'll have to fight that perceptional war, because the timing is suspect. The timing at which it has been given is suspect. Now I just want to read 2 lines, if you allow me. It says, so long as I am the C in C, we will sustain the strongest military in the world has ever known. When you take off your uniform, we will serve you as well as you have served us. Because no one who fights for this nation should have to fight for a job, a roof on their heads, or the care that they need when they come back home. This is what the American president says.
Tell me this, in the past, previous regimes have given 500 crore rupees or 1,000 crore rupees. That did not give a roof on the head. This is a regime that is giving 8,300 crore rupees to the same widows, to the same veterans. Isn't that better than fighting for all or bust?
It is certainly better. It is certainly making us feel much better, grateful. In the first case, possibly it was a lip service. It was not really what they wanted to do. It was just to get the issue off their heads. Because they were not serious. They knew that the elections are coming, let the next government do what best they can do. So when now the realities are confronted, it has gone up from 8,300 crores to over 10,000 crores.
Right.
So we have to be, we have to see it in that light. What I want to kind of convey is that such a situation should not have arisen in the first case. Why were the people in the helm of affairs so insensitive as not to notice certain things? It is certainly not good for the country.
You know, Colonel, how do you reckon this will translate into the morale where our ex-servicemen and even the current serving, officers and Jawans are concerned? How do you think this will translate at least right to the ground level there?
No, I'll tell you. I feel that the government has let go of a wonderful opportunity to close the trust deficit that was existing between the armed forces and the the government and the bureaucrats. This was a very good opportunity.
But do you think they've delivered now because they've walked 80% of the line?
Well, let's hope. We'll wait for the announcement.
We will wait, yes.
But it was a very good opportunity if they had acted in good time, acted with magnanimity, acted with a big heart. In the matters military, money hardly counts ever. Please remember, if the war breaks out, God forbid, we will not be counting our pennies. And therefore, in this particular case, the prime consideration should have been of all those who are at the helm of affairs to see that this kind of a thing doesn't happen.
No, but explain this to me. Is there merit in the government saying, while our soldiers, and we are very grateful to our soldiers, you have sacrificed a lot for this country. Your son, the brave Captain Vijayan Thapar in the war in Kargil, he made the supreme sacrifice of his life. The government says that we also have CRPF personnel who are being martyred. We have BSF personnel who are fighting alongside the armed forces. They've made the supreme sacrifice of their lives. Tomorrow they'll also demand one rank, one pension.
Well, my point is, first point is that these issues are coming up now. When the OROP has to be given to the army, at about that time these issues have been raised. Now, that is one point that you must understand as to why they have been raised now and why was the OROP issue delayed for so long. The other point that I want to make is, it is not the words said that give you the confidence and the courage. It is the actions. What are the precipitate actions that you have taken to ensure that this kind of a thing doesn't after all, this is not
there were five major issues, if I may, just for a moment. The concept of OROP accepted by the government. Are you happy with that?
Yes.
Point 2, VRS or voluntary retirement service, or in the armed forces as it's called premature retirement.
No, they are two different things.
No, the premature retirement, if those who are entitled to pension are entitled to OROP, if the government comes up with that draft, are you satisfied with that?
I think that is the main issue.
The review and time frame, if that happens, if there's a judge who decides on that, when should your pensions be reviewed, would you be satisfied with that?
Well, I think they have asked for a committee.
Yes.
And in that committee, it is very pertinent that in any future committees, including the pay commission and things like that, the army representation should be there, or the armed forces representation should be there, because what the army undergoes, which foot the shoe is pinching, is only known to the person who wears it.
Well, we will know the nitty-gritties. We'll know the fine print at about, I would reckon, Govt, in the next 15-20 minutes when the defense minister holds that press conference. We're going to be dipping in live. We're going to be, cutting across to our studio guests. We have ground reporters picking up every mood as it unfolds at Jantar Mantar.